Ladies and gentlemen, hello. It is currently 5 a.m. Don't ask me why I'm up right now, but I have an off weekend. I'm macking and relaxing. I'm enjoying, retail. We just made a War Within video, so please go check that out if you have seen it on the channel. We made that yesterday, and support it, and check it out if you like the review of, the War Within overall, if you want to give it a shot. Made a lot of good points over there, and there's tons of good people, just checking out the video, and much love to you. I appreciate you. I'm hella tired right now, but I wanted to make this video because I am in shock of how many things are going on right now outside. This is a normal reaction though, because obviously I expected Season of Discovery to obviously come out with something, and I was in hopes of something really good. So before we continue the video, much shout outs to, the link down below, Rested XP, your guide through all of Azeroth for any assistance you may need, with questing and any support from 1 to 60. Support the boys, support the channel, and if anything, just like and subscribe to the video. That's all I really care about at the end of the day. However, much love to you. Now, as we get into the video itself, it seems like that, BWL and ZG is coming August 30th, which is today, which is supposed to be at noon. And it was supposed to be Pacific noon. It was supposed to be 3 p.m. Eastern. You're going to be able to carry, copy a character of your template. Most of the Molten Core loot's going to be available, and all the usual consumables with the world buffs. But then they basically said that, you know what, we're changing the time, and it's going to be at 10 a.m. Pacific, and it's going to get shifted to 1 p.m. Eastern, which is today, Friday, August 30th. So now I gotta, make my whole schedule and flip it all up and try to get some type of rest, which I will, trust me. Maybe I'll be a little late to the PTR, but overall I will try to get there. However, I'm very excited to, try the PTR, get an opportunity to get into a raid group, try BWL, try ZG, see what it's all about, see if there's anything that's changed, if there's any, new boss mechanics, and, have some further update in a couple days while I gather some data and make another solid video talking about, the experience of the Phase 5 PTR, so I can discuss that with you guys and give you my point of view of stuff that I experienced, maybe any new changes to classes, etc., things I've noticed that are key points, right? So I'm really excited to get my hands involved with, BWL. I think it's gonna be a really good time, and I'm looking forward to that. Another thing that was announced, so there is gonna be a lot of spoilers during this video. If you don't want to see any spoiler warnings, there will be timestamps below for certain things if you want to see, but do note there is spoiler warnings because a lot of things have been data mined and released in the past couple hours. So I'm just gonna, make this stuff now and, let you guys know ahead of time. Don't get tight. If you're watching the video, it's on your own accord. So BWL and ZG loot has been data mined officially. I will show you the Paladin side of things at least, and then you guys can check it all out for yourself for every single other data mine that's been going on with all the set bonuses. But it looks like basically for the Paladin, it shows the 2-piece and all the way to the 6-piece, so 2, 4, and 6 for every single set. And it shows even with everything else that's going on with, Holy Paladin getting 20% crit strike holy chance, 50% increased damage from consecration, and while you're not the Beacon of Light target, your Beacon of Light target is also healed by 100% of the damage you deal with consecration, exorcism, holy shock, holy wrath, and hammer of wrath. For the basically prot set, which looks really juicy too, increases the bonus chance to block from holy shield by 10%. You take 10% reduced damage with holy shield active, and your reckoning talent now has a 20% chance to basically trigger when you block. So prot Paladin is seeming really badass, and they're already really strong right now in PvP. I think they're going to be a lot stronger come Phase 5, especially with the newer gear and then all the new goodies we get to play around with. And for the Ret Paladin, obviously my spec, the class I love playing for the most, my favorite spec, and increase the damage done by your judgment by 20%, and your judgment no longer consumes your seals on the target. So this is going to be very interesting with, seal twisting and, spamming judgment a lot more often with higher rank seals, like a high rank of Seal of Command. I think this would be really badass, or a high rank of Seal of Righteousness. The cooldown of your judgment is instantly reset if you used on different seals than your last judgment. So this could be a lot of playing around the seal, the seal maneuvering of going back and forth. So I'm really excited about this. And your judgment grants 1% increased holy damage for 8 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. So Judgment is playing a big part of the Retribution set overall. I do think also with like, you know, Exorcism spamming builds for the Ret style of like the Wrath style of Paladin, that's going to be really strong still within this meta. I think both metas of slow and fast are going to be still pretty solid. And then also the caster bonus, which I'm seeing something over here which is very interesting. It's showing the increased damage done by your holy spells and effects by 14. There's a holy shock spell by 50%, and reduce the cooldown of your exorcism spell by 3 seconds, which I believe this set is a piece that you can find within Zul'Gurub, if I'm correct. I remember seeing some screenshots about that showing a holy shockening style set bonus, which is very interesting. So I'm very excited to see the 4 different ways on this list of how you can build your Paladin. So I'm very much looking forward to that. So let's give some small talk to that. I don't want to rant about Paladins all night long, because obviously you guys know me. I could do that forever. So as we go into the new possible dungeons and heroics possibly coming to Season of Discovery for patch 1.15.4, this is something that I was really looking forward to. And obviously, you know that I do the classic cast with, you know, the Classic Plus show with Ebonheart, and much love to the amigo. And we basically talk about, you know, the new dungeons that we hope to see, the visions and the future of what, you know, Classic Plus might be, what it possibly might lead to. And, you know, I'm happy that they're just doing this within SOD alone, you know, and if it's really good, maybe these ideas can come into Classic Plus in the future. And honestly, they are talking about, you know, several dungeons that we see here of the Burning of Andorhal and the Starfall Barrow Den and the Shadow Hold, which I always knew, and I had a feeling that we were going to see something in Jadanar where, you know, with Felwood, and have a possible dungeon in that area. I mean, Shadow Hold, you can even see here on the map, it's just a big instance style area, which it's kind of like Demonfall Canyon in a way. It has the same exact, like, you know, ways of maneuvering through the tunnels. So it's gonna be very similar, but with different bosses within there, which is something I am very much looking forward to, as well as us following with, you know, the Barrow Den, you know, within Winterspring behind Starfall Village. I'm really looking forward to see what kind of style of instance this is going to be, because it was unused and it was empty before Cataclysm, you know. So I'm very intrigued to see what's going to happen with this instance in particular, what kind of you know, ads are going to be in there, what kind of mechanics, what kind of bosses, and what kind of loot, most importantly, you know. And then finally, what I'm mostly excited for, because obviously you guys know me, I love anything going on within the Plaguelands, and they do anything possibly with, you know, which I mentioned in my videos, you know, Tyr's Hand, Harkland, right? But having Andorhal, you know, something that is located within the Western Plaguelands, formerly known as Eastwell, Lordaeron's breadbasket, you know, one of the largest cities in northern Lordaeron, you know. So having Andorhal being, you know, the main, you know, focus here, and possibly being one of the biggest dungeons to date within, you know, maybe it's possibly a size of BRD. We don't know. I'm really excited. I know I could be overhyping this a little bit. So obviously Copium, get the Pepe Frog mask in the comments below. I get it. He's hoping, he's coping, you know, I get it. But you know what? I'm hoping and coping, but I'm surely stroking. Settle down, not that type of video. You best believe I got the Poland Spring. Let's get a little Poland Spring break, shall we? Hold on, a little zoomage. Much love to you. However, though, back to the video at hand. I'm very excited for Andorhal overall. I think a lot of this, you know, potential dungeons and what they might be adding to the game is going to be really good for next phase, because this is something I said that Season of Discovery needed. It cannot just be a raid log fest. I'm sorry. And this is something I genuinely mean by this. You cannot have next phase only be BWL, ZG logging with your occasional Molten Core logging, because people still did Molten Core back in the day, even when BWL and ZG was occurring. People were still doing MC. It never stopped, because they were still going for like Onslaught Girdle and, you know, Obsidian Edgeblade, a lot of other like epic weapons, even Sulfarian's Hammer. Obviously you're going for the Eye, right? Getting the Legendary Hammer, right? But overall, I am very excited and happy with the fact that there's more to do than just raid logging, and I think that was important, and it was critical to the, you know, overall fun of Season of Discovery. You can't just keep it just, raid logs. The game will die out. Your player base will not play as consistent, and you have to give supports to other areas which they are weak in, which is obviously something that I've advocated for, especially with like, PvP battlegrounds. And obviously they just did that thing in the War Within, with their new battleground for the War Within, which is like a payload style system, something that I wish that they did for, the BRM event. But it is what it is. At least we're getting 3 new dungeons, and hopefully we see what they do with PvP, which is still unknown right now. It's still a gray area, and I'm looking forward to the future of that once we get there, pretty much, right? So, in other news, new weapon models have been found on Phase 5 for the PTR. As you guys can see here, I'm showcasing you a list of just the images of the models of the weapons and shields that we will be getting, and staffs, all the weapons, swords, daggers. We're getting, basically a spiral looking shield for warriors, which looks insane, to be honest. I think the warrior and shaman shield actually looks sick. And just, the cool caster staffs that we're getting as well. But overall, let me know your comments below and what you guys think about this. I honestly think they look pretty cool. They look a little clean, like too clean, almost to the point, I feel like, for what classic is. Is a little over the top, but then again, there is some items within classic that look a little over the top, and honestly, it is what it is. I'm gonna enjoy trying to go after some of these weapons, maybe on a main spec, or just maybe an alt or whatever, if I even consider picking up in my alt. I have a warlock that I was always consider continue leveling, but who knows, we'll see what happens. Overall, I think they're okay. Let me know your guys' thoughts and comments below and what you think about those models, right? Further news, though, it seems that, the 20th anniversary is, about to happen. And, if you look at the roadmap, from everything that we've done with War Within, I know, like, we started, a lot of discussion happening within the winter time. And, as we, went forward with this, from BlizzCon, announcing, the original season of Discovery, the idea, and we were, going through with it, being extremely excited, being extremely hyped. And, the summer is basically over, guys. It's been a long time already that, time flies when you don't realize it. You just wake up one day and then you're an old man. You're packed up and you're living at a senior citizen home. It is what it is, right? So, listen, that's not the case here, but I will say that, yeah, the 20th anniversary is coming, and there is hints to teases to certain things that I'm kind of like shocked about. I don't know what the hell's going on, but they found models of Arthas and Frostmourne and Manaroth in the classic PTR files, and they also spotted Frostmourne teasers for the upcoming Overwatch and Datamine Frostmourne model for Diablo 4, which is on a separate note, right? And we don't care too much about that part, but what we do care about is the fact that we're hearing these names, we're seeing these models on the classic PTR file. So what does that exactly mean? Are we going to get some type of event that is related to anything of the topics that we just mentioned, of the characters and the iconic weapons that we just mentioned? Is that going to happen? Is something going on within classic SOD PTR, or just even after within Season of Discovery with an event that leads up to any one of these things going on? I'm very curious about this, and I'm not sure the direction of where Blizzard is going, but leave me your comments below on what you think might be going on from the following mentions of what we just discussed. So very curious, but to each his own. Let's give not too much hype to it. Let's relax and let's continue forward, moving on, having other discussion. In other news, a new legendary weapon was Datamines, and this is kind of crazy because me and my friend, my boy, we always joke about this because he's a shaman, I'm a paladin, and he always tells me, he always says, man, what are you guys gonna get? Uther Lightbringer, you guys gonna get more guy lights? We always bust each other's chops, and it's always just a nonstop, like, I'm always like shitting on him, he's shitting on me because like I like paladins, he likes shamans, right? And it's funny that this happens because it's almost like it's bittersweet. Like I was giggling and laughing like a kid because I can't believe they're adding Uther's two-handed mace. Now the data model says that it's a sword for some reason. I'm not sure what's going on, but then it also says there's an on-you shift ability where you basically in your combat stance, in order to wield the truth bearer as a hand and a half sword, allowing you to use it with a shield. So I'm not sure if this is like a half mace or a half sword, or like the description is incorrect, but there is legitimately a legendary from Uther Lightbringer happening within Season of Discovery for Paladins exclusively, which I cannot believe is happening. Maybe this is some homage because they gave the Hand of Rag to the Fire Kittens, and I've been joking about this, how they're basically Entei from Pokemon, which more power to druids, much love to them. But this is insane, and also like you know, the descriptions were also talking about that, you know, there's other following models or items in relation to this epic, you know, legendary weapon, like the blood of the Lightbringer and Ada's amulet, and also the fact that the mace has an effect to turn into the truth bearer, which is a one-hander with the shield. So it's very interesting to see how this is going to work out. You know, this can be a beneficial for, you know, everybody, you know, rat tanking, healing paladin, etc. So this is like the ultimate weapon. I'm very much looking forward to see how this plays out, and if there's any truth behind all of this, because obviously, as you know, player like myself, I'm very excited to see what goes on with this, and if this is actually going to be, you know, set in stone. And I just had a flashbang in my face because I'm clicking over to the other tab, so apologies for that. I almost threw in a Call of Duty flashbang. It almost took me out. I'm not gonna lie, we had to stop the video and we would have went to bed. It's simple as that. However, though, there is also, in other news, with a Datamine alert with ZG enchantments for each specialization going on. So I'll showcase all the specializations here on the screen, from, you know, basically the druids, hunters, we have mages, we have paladins, we have priests, we have rogues, shamans, and the warlocks and warriors. And it shows all the enchantments that you're going to be possibly to get from Zul'Gurub. It seems like this is going to be possibly related to a new vendor, something that we're going to be able to have access to in order to enchant these things. Most likely it's probably going to be on that island, you know, to the, you know, upper side of where Stranglethorn Vale is, where that one island is, Yajamba Island, I believe, if I said that correctly. However, it's usually around that area where basically you went around for Sunken Temple to get, you know, those flasks and, you know, use your basically a shoulder enchantment. So I'm thinking it's going to be over there. However, I guess we're going to have to see where exactly it's going to be, but I'm very much looking forward to see the truth and, you know, anything that is truly going to be discovered when it comes to that. And in final news, there is, I believe, 2 more things I wanted to discuss. The first thing is that the class quest that they might be introducing that is going to be tied to those items for the legendary mace and, you know, the basically the Paladin hammer. As far as like other items for other classes as well, for like any other epics, it seems like these are going to be class quest related, kind of like they had the class quests for Kel'Sarrar, you know what I mean? So it's going to be, you know, exclusive to certain classes. So they are bringing back more class quest things, which is something I've always liked in, you know, World of Warcraft, that it feels like it is like, you know, suited for your class. You complete this epic, you know, legendary quest line and you get a really cool reward at the end of it because it is, you know, catered to your class, and this weapon is an amazing weapon that you use. I like that. I think that's really, you know, it gives a lot of homage to you picking your class, you growing within Azeroth from level 1 all the way to where you are at level 60. So I actually enjoy the fact that they are adding a little bit more class quests to the game. I think that's pretty neat. But besides that, the final bit of news here that we have, which is a last Datamine spoiler alert, is that there are new healing ring runes Datamine for, you know, the patch coming out. And it seems like these runes, which it shows all classes on them, so there might be other, you know, effects, but as far as what they're showing, it shows that it's going to restore 5 mana per 5 seconds, and also increase healing and effects basically up to 26. So this is mainly for like mana users, but I'm very curious if there's going to be anything related to like specifically rogues and warriors. Is going to be more rage, even druids as well. Is there going to be a rage option? Is there going to be, you know, maybe an option for rogues as well, as how fast they build up their combo points or whatever? You know, I'm very curious about this overall. I'm not too sure the direction of where they're going. Nothing is set in stone at the end of the day, guys, so do realize that all this can be, you know, scratched off at the end of the day. But usually when it comes to the Datamines, they're pretty damn right for the most of the time I've read them and the most of the time I've seen this stuff. It has nailed it on the head, and they were implemented within the game, besides certain things, you know what I mean? Very, very small little things, like, you know, I think the one thing I think I saw with Datamines that was incorrect was I think it was the big two-handed sword from Aranicus. It was like the tooth of Aranicus or the shade of Aranicus. That sword was like pulled out of the game, and the Datamine, I think, was wrong on that. But regardless of that, at the end of the day, this is the stuff that we got to see, the stuff that we got to discuss, and, you know, discuss with you guys, most importantly. And you're probably wondering, why is a video about to come out here soon? Because I wanted to get this information out. So much love to you guys. My ass needs to go to bed, but I do this content for you guys because I love you guys, and I hope you guys have, you know, an amazing day, and you know, an easy work day for Friday. Chill out, come home, maybe get a little Corona, maybe a little JD, take a little sip, settle down, mac out a little bit, and then hit the bed. You know what I mean? Relax. But and play some games. Why don't you enjoy yourself? However, that's about it. I'm about to pack myself up and drown myself in Purell. But yeah, that's really all I got for you. So much love, amigos. Keep on keeping on, shine on. Love you as always. And remember, Hydration Nation. Don't get packed up or you will get shot in Minecraft. Throw out that what out bad. Editor, YouTube family friendly, they know the damn deal already. So, see you guys later. Make sure to use your air duster. If you're not using an air duster to clean your PC or keyboard, you are basically eating chicken wings and getting grease all up in the keyboard when you really should be rubbing it on your nip. And the fucking video!